Harry here, this is LordPotato, and this is, well, what if Naruto was trained by I slash LordPotato slash potato? Yeah, okay. Um, it's a redo from, what's it called? I think I already done, yeah, so I already done this. It's just I want to redo it because the last one was just a request from, someone. I think someone requests me to do something like that, but instead of me wanting to do it on my own, it was requested. So I was just like, I didn't have actually a thought of knowledge on how to fuck to do this. So of course I want to redo it. I'm not gonna do anything what that other person did or asked me to because fuck that. I don't care. So it's basically slash redo slash I want to do it because I thought of it. I don't care. But other than that, let me do it. So we go into Naruto still being having the Nine Tails still inside him. This time it is the full Nine Tails, and well, we go into fast forward. Naruto is now 8 years old, and of course this is where, well, he is in the academy. It's just everyone doesn't like him because, well, he's the demon fox, everyone says. Of course, everyone doesn't like him. Not many people actually like Naruto or anything. Naruto met one girl that actually kind of liked, well, not liked him, mostly kind of befriended him a little bit. And Naruto didn't show any hostile signs to her, which she thought that everyone must have been crazy. But of course, this is where when Naruto was talking to this girl, she was actually, well, someone that was from not a, well, somewhat a noble clan, but she wasn't from the Hyugas, I will mention. Naruto still saved Hinata, but Hinata kind of, kind of ran away. So yeah, when Naruto was 6 years old. Now this is not Hinata. This is someone else that I will mention later. Now, of course, Naruto didn't know her name until, well, we fast forward because Naruto was talking to this girl. A villager saw them kind of talking, and of course, the villagers did not like Naruto at all. And of course, since this girl is from a noble clan, they do not take that lightly. They didn't take it lightly. They did not take it lightly. So of course, this is where, well, they managed to get Naruto far away from the academy by actually making, well, Taiuchi kind of betray Naruto. By Naruto going to the, ramen place instead of going towards the academy, Naruto was actually poisoned and kind of knocked out and actually taken to the alleyway to be beating the shit out of. Naruto wake up after so much pain. Of course, he was about to pass out again, and this time a villager tries to kill Naruto because, well, they had enough of Naruto's existence. Before the stab could even happen, this is where, one of them says, "Hey, Anamu's coming." This is where, well, the person stopped and said, "You're lucky, demon. I would have easily cut you down where you stand." This is where Naruto says, "Why?" He can't stand up, he can't get up. His healing rate is normal, and that's like a Joe Cannon. Of course, this is where Naruto, he managed to get up after they left. And of course, the Ambo didn't do anything. He was just there to kind of see how Naruto is, not really care. So of course, 4 hours passed. Naruto realized that the academy must have been already over. It's already kind of getting dark. This is where, well, Naruto, he gets up, trying to get up, and this is where he hears a voice saying, "Come here, Naruto, come on." This friendly kind of voice. This is where, well, Naruto doesn't know where it's coming from, but of course he walks through the alleyway, through another alleyway, because he keeps hearing this voice. He doesn't know where it's coming from. But of course, this is where, well, he goes through a wall. A wall that actually was a portal. There was a portal that was invisible, and Naruto couldn't see it, but the voice says, "Come through the portal." This is where Naruto went through the portal, and of course, when he went through the portal, he was confused. But of course, this is where he passes out because he hasn't ate anything. Of course, he was already hurt enough, but yeah. Of course, this is where, well, we fast forward into Naruto. Well, not Naruto. Fast forward. We go into Naruto about 2 hours later. He wakes up. Naruto doesn't know where he's at, but what he looks in front of him is food. Food that's actually edible, and not just ramen, like meat, vegetables, and other things. Naruto's confused. He looks around, but it's nothing but pure white. Nothing but entities are just very white. There's nothing around. He's confused where he's at. Of course, this is where, Naruto saying, where am I? This is where something appeared right in front of him. Something that's floating. Something that's brown and has a crown. Now, of course, Naruto's confused and saying, why is there a flying potato with a crown? This is where, this potato says, hello there, Naruto. My name is LordPotato. This is where, Naruto goes, huh? LordPotato? Interesting. What is this? And he points in front of him. This is where I say, oh, that is a plate of food. Hurry up and eat. We have some things to do. Don't you want to do anything? Don't you want to get a little bit stronger than normal? This is where Naruto decides to eat actual real food, even vegetables, because, he hasn't eaten anything, and since Taiuchi betrayed his, trust and all that, he doesn't really want to eat ramen no more. He's basically traumatized from eating ramen. So, of course, he eats the food and realizes there's nothing very poisonous to it. Of course, he eats it all, and of course, this is where he gets up. All full of healthy and nutrition, and of course, he's very energetic. He's saying, whoa, where's the... He looks around and sees that he is, his clothes are not torn. And of course, his, jumpsuit is gone. That orange jumpsuit is gone. He's wearing a, white pants with a white shirt. This is where, Naruto says, am I dead? Because he doesn't see his wounds. This is where the potato looks at him and says, oh, no, you're not. You're not dead. You're just in a whirl. Well, time flows different in this world. I will mention later how that works. But come on, Naruto. Let's train for a little bit. So, of course, I'm right now just floating in midair because I'm a potato with the crown. And, of course, this is where Naruto kind of does some laps and running around. And sees that he can run for miles and miles. And, yeah. Of course, this is where he comes back to me, like, every time. Because if he runs in one forward direction, he just somehow managed to come back towards the same spot I was at. But, yeah. Of course, he doesn't understand where he's at exactly. He feels a little bit heavy in this kind of dimension. This is where, Naruto then asked a question that was kind of, an interesting question. He says, how can a potato with a crown talk? Also, how can you float? Where's your mouth and eyes? This is where I reply, that's very interesting. Well, Naruto, this is actually not my true form. I will show you my true form. This is where, the potato changes into, it kind of like turns white, like pure white, and then turns black. Kind of shaping into like a humanoid figure. This is where the person has, of course, 5 fingers, and of course, legs and arms. But of course, this is where its clothing kind of changes. The crown kind of disappears from his head. And of course, this is where, clothing started appearing. First, he sees black boots. Then, not black boots, mostly black shoes. Then he sees black pants. Then when he looks up, he sees a black, a kind of black shirt. Kind of like a little bit having like a little bit of blue on there, like a little bit blue. Mostly it's black. Of course, having like a kind of scientist coat, but instead of being like a scientist coat and being white, it's fully black. Of course, it's long sleeving, yeah. He looks at the skin of the person's face. The much of his he can see. He can't see the person's like what's called eyes or mouth yet until the person like smiles at Naruto. And of course showing his bright white teeth. Of course, when the shade of the darkness from his cloak, because he did have, well, a hood on the, what's it called, cloak mostly, or mostly coat, was covering up his skin mostly, until he lifted it up and showing his bright white teeth. His skin was, well, a little bit brownish, well, kind of brownish lightish color. Of course, is where, well, Naruto didn't see the eyes until he opened one of his eyes, showing, well, blue in the middle, like bright turquoise blue. And of course, it looked like it was oozing just nothing but pure lightning off of that eye, off of that turquoise blue, just around it. But of course, its eyes around, the white around it, instead of being white, it was black, pitch black, like darkness. Darkness was oozing off of that eye also, just around the lightning. Well, not even around the lightning, in between the lightning sparks. This is where, well, Naruto says, who are you? This is where I say, well, you can still call me LordPotato, which I kind of speak and my mouth does move. But you can call me Dark Raku, me Dark Lightning, which is a proper name for me. Actually, it's actually my true name. LordPotato is just a name that I kind of thought about, thinking it would be more friendlier to you, more not intimidating. That's why I decided to change into a figure, a potato mostly. But yeah. So where Naruto says, huh? Oh, I'm not scared of you, mister. So where I look at Naruto and see that Naruto's not lying. This is where, well, Naruto says, so if this is what you truly look like, why do you have only one eye closed and your other eye open? This is where I should also mention that I have black, black, fingerless gloves, and I kind of just grab my eye, well, my mostly right eye, because my left eye is the one being open, my right eye is fully closed and cannot be seen. Also, I have turquoise, what's it called? Well, a slight little bit of turquoise blue hair on like the front of my hair. And I've had black behind me, but of course there's some like highlights of turquoise blue, but yeah. I look at Naruto and I just say that, oh, you don't need to know about that eye. Not yet. Don't worry about it. Naruto understands and decides to not bother the question of like what is hiding behind that one eye. And of course, I just look at Naruto saying, well, none of that, right? You're here to train, you're here to become stronger, right? I'm here to willingly help you. No one in your life was ever willing to help you, but I am. Naruto says, really? Are you some kind of god or something? This is where I kind of just wave my hand in front of my face and say, no, of course not. This is where I say, gods don't exist. This is where Naruto says, oh, sorry about that. That sounds like a dumb question. Naruto said, he kind of sweat dropped a little bit, but yeah. This is where I said, yeah, gods don't exist. Not in front of me exactly. I said in such a dark tone. This is where Naruto got caught off. This is where I say the next words that kind of shocked Naruto. I am not a god, I am a god slayer. Well, only half god slayer, exactly. You don't even need to worry why I'm only half. I have some, well, complicated issues with my family, and so I'm only half. But I'm pretty strong for being only a half god slayer. Naruto hears the dark tone of my voice and then gulps. But this is where I bring another friendly smile and says, but don't worry about it. Let's just start training. Don't you want to get stronger? Don't you want to show all the villagers to fuck off? And this is where I'm being more kind of like excited to help Naruto, but yeah. And of course, this kind of excitement is rubbing off on Naruto, which makes Naruto excited and kind of starts, well, training with me. So of course, I'm kind of mostly training Naruto in taijutsu and speed and also strength, but mostly a lot of other things. But this is where, well, we travel from the White Void, because this place was called the White Void. Well, mostly the timeless White Void, and of course we go into other dimensions. Well, before leaving the White Void, this is where Naruto was actually going into a dimension that I kind of pushed Naruto in, which someone else that was at the other kind of portal kind of saw Naruto. He had a white kind of like plague mask, a black cloak, and was right now experimenting on other kind of, well, things so he can make more SCPs. Of course, Naruto saw this man and kind of started talking to this person while I closed the gate behind Naruto. Gate slash portal. So yeah, it was just a gate slash portal. This is where, well, the other person nodded, knowing what I was doing. To where when I closed it, someone appeared into this white void. Someone would just rainbow around his body, kind of being in a cloak called Galaxy Cloak. This was Protector Naruto, and was seeing me and saying, "What are you doing? What did you do with the original Naruto? Why can I not sense him in this other dimension? This is odd." So, damn it. What do you want, Dark Raku, with that Naruto? This is where I smile. I give out this creepy smile and say, "Oh, what I want from him? Nothing. I actually want to train him a little bit. I want to see how strong can a Naruto be without what's called, well, any emotions." I wouldn't say he will have any emotions. I must say that, well, he has proper emotions, training it. But instead of just being like his original self counterpart, just like how you are, instead of protecting people that he doesn't give a fuck about, he will protect those that he cares deeply. That's what I'm trying to go. I want to make him care about as little as people that he really doesn't care. When he goes back to the village, when he goes back into the dimension, I want him to kill anyone that pisses him off. This is where Protector Naruto says, "I won't let you corrupt that Naruto." This is where I appear right in front of him. My what's it called, left eye shining brightly into the pitch black of, well, my eye. This is where the lightning is crackling off. And of course, I just appear right in front of, well, Protector Naruto saying, "Oh, please, it's like if you could do anything." This is where I flicked my finger at Protector Naruto's forehead, sending his ass into multiple, well, imaginary buildings, because when I smashed my leg into the ground, I created, well, like earth pillars, making Naruto smash into those. This is where I say, you're pretty pathetic for being at least, I wouldn't say god level, or even it's close to a demigod. You're pretty pathetic. I would call you lowest amount of demigod. You and Zenu Naruto / Angel has been pissing me off for a couple of times, trying to ruin some plans, trying to ruin, well, some things, and also trying to ruin evil lives of Naruto. Which, those evil Narutos are just living their life, doing absolutely nothing but killing those people that they hate in their world. Which, if you don't know, it's just the way of their, well, dimension is. You can't stop the way of their dimension is when it was already set engraved, the fate, the chosen, blah blah blah. I sound too much like a god, which I'm not a god. I'm a god slayer, half god slayer exactly. But you don't need to worry about that. This is where Protector Naruto tried to get back up and says, "I won't let you corrupt someone else." This is where I say, I haven't corrupted anyone. All the different dimension Narutos are set on their own goals, their own dreams, their own lives. I just don't go in there. I don't mess around. I mostly Tell the story. This is where, well, I'm protecting artistic. What do you mean? This is where, well, I say, oh, nothing. Oh, nothing indeed. I look straight to the camera. And of course, everyone might be confused. Until I started breaking the fourth wall. All of you lovely subscribers that are watching right now, I hope you enjoy yourself. Because one day, I might just end the life of Protector Naruto, destroying him and Zenitsu, well not Zenitsu, Zenitsu, Zenu Naruto also's life, destroying them and erasing them from their universe, entirely from the multi-universe, making sure that all dimensions of Naruto will live in peace, or of however it works, chaos, peace, who gives a shit? All of them are different in their own unique ways. You might have a way to choose in what life they live, but I'm the one to tell the story. So you have really no power in any of the stories. You don't have the power of who they date. You don't have the power of anything. Because I am the teller, while you are mostly the suggester or the person that watches. Pathetic. Okay, I just called you pathetic, but yeah. Of course, after me breaking the fourth wall, Protecting Naruto is confused. He said, what do you mean? A watcher? A suggester? What the hell are you talking about? I say, oh, none of your business. So I appear right in front of him and bitch smack him into another dimension. Back towards Zeno Naruto. Which Zeno Naruto was right now just in his palace until dimension appear, smashes into him, Protecting Naruto into a wall. This is where he is confused. He felt the leftover traces of lightning and darkness on, well, Protecting Naruto. He's confused. Of course, he falls down, right now coughing up blood because, well, Protecting Naruto, they're just smashing into him full speed. Full speed of, like, just really fucking fast. This is why, well, I just look at that portal kind of closing, or mostly rift, because I just slapped the shit up him, making a rift, smashing into Zenin Naruto. This is where I say pathetic. I kind of just shake my hand, kind of just like saying pathetic at the same time. This is where I say, well, the boy is going to be trained by Demon, so I'll let that happen for a couple of years. Then I wonder if Enemy Sensei would train him. I don't think so. He hasn't been on for a while. Hasn't been out, kind of on. Iconic? Nah. Obito? Nah. I wonder who would train the boy. Or should I just train him my full self? Probably gonna be easy to kind of just train myself. This is where a portal behind me appears. And of course, this is where I walk through it. Going through it. Going into a dimension that is not with Naruto or Demon, but going into somewhat of darkness. Just a pure black palace. Walking through it. And of course, I had to dodge my neck, or my neck would have been cut off instantly. A man threw a scythe at me, a diamond scythe, but I managed to dodge my neck by just turning it to, well, the right. Of course, the diamond scythe decided to spin backwards and almost hit my neck if I didn't pull out a sword that blocked the scythe, cutting it by just one swing. I look back at the man and says, you know, father, that's very rude of you to do. This man says, what the hell do you want here? I say, oh, nothing. Nothing at all. I just want to know, is it possible for me to give a little bit of percentage of my Godslayer powers into a mortal? This is where he narrowed his eyes, his cold, white eyes, on me and says, the hell are you talking about? Oh, nothing. I guess you don't need to, well, talk about it. I guess I'll take my leave. But tell Mom I say hi. If you manage to get to tell her that. This is where I walk through another dimension and disappeared. This is where we fast forward into Naruto's training with Demon. Of course, this is where they've been training and kind of experimenting on SCPs. Now, mostly not experimenting on SCPs, but on mortal life. So, of course, Naruto has taken a couple of lives, but mostly turned them into SCPs. And, of course, he's very amused in using SCPs. So, of course, this is where, well, we go into me kind of going into Naruto's life. Naruto is now 10 years old, and of course, Naruto is kind of shown to be a little bit taller than a 10-year-old. He's actually, well, he's actually 4'11 for being only 10 years old. Of course, he's been kind of eating good with Demon. They've been kind of like, when they do destroy universe, like a My Hero Academia universe or some kind of universe that Demon doesn't really like, from an anime or anything, or real life, they kind of just go eat somewhere. But yeah, of course, this is where Demon has been showing Naruto how the human body kind of works. There's so many specific places to kind of hurt him with. This, and of course, this is where Naruto found out how to use kind of something called SCP creation, something that Demon actually has. A touch that Naruto touches one person with this kind of SCP ability would turn this person into, person, object, or anything out of that sort into an SCP that, Naruto imagines. So, of course, this is where, he just has to say SCP, number, mostly SCP dash, number, dash, whatever else. But yeah, Naruto just has to say that while creating this person into an SCP at the same time by imagining it. Of course, this is where, we go fast forward into, Naruto seeing me again and saying, "Oh, Dark Raku, hey!" This is where, I say hello there, Naruto, while still having one of my eyes closed and still looking at him through one of my other eyes. This is where, Naruto says, "Hello there, Dark Raku. It's been a while. How long has it been?" This is where Demon says, I would say 2 years, I guess. But that's not the point. Hey, can I talk to you real fast, LordPotato? Yeah, what do you want, Demon? I want to know, is it possible for me to kill the Protector Naruto? I was thinking of doing it myself, I said to Demon. Demon said, but I want to kill him. I want to end his life for kind of getting in people's way, thinking he's a hero, with his falsehood of being a hero. This is where I look at him and say, you know what, sure, do whatever you want to do. This is where I kind of just say, but I need to bring Naruto through other dimensions to train him. So you probably already know what dimensions are gonna be. This is where Demon nodded and says, then good luck. Bye, Naruto. He kind of waves at Naruto and disappears. This is where I go straight to Naruto and says, let's start our training, Naruto. We only have 2 more years for you. This is where Naruto says, 2 more years for what? Naruto's kind of confused, but we fast forward into Naruto's training. And of course, Naruto's now 12. Naruto's extremely smart, but he's also 5'7" for only being a 12-year-old. Of course, he also kind of has 2 swords on his back. But not just 2 swords. Well, not 2 swords on his back. Mostly 2 swords on his side. And of course, I'll mention what those 2 swords are. Of course, he has 1 tonto on his back, like a tonto. But he has a scythe on his back. This kind of scythe that's kind of made out of kind of like lightning metal. Like a very potent lightning metal. This is where Naruto just says, hey sensei. I look at Naruto and says, yeah, Naruto? This is where Naruto says, it's been 2 years. What do you wanted me to do when I was, 12 now? I look at Naruto, smile, and says, oh, well, I wanted to ask you, Naruto. Do you want to go back to your dimension? Do you want to, well, show everyone how powerful you are, how strong you are, and how much you don't give a fuck about their life? Do you want to? This is where Naruto kind of just thinks into like the thin, well, not even thin air, but also the just the emptiness of that emptiness of this white void, the timeless white void. This is where Naruto says, actually, I do, Sensei. I do want to go. I want to show all those pathetic villagers, the Hokage, everyone, that they should have never messed with me unless they want to die. So where, well, Naruto is just keep looking into the white void, and this is where a giant orange fox appears. This giant orange fox gets closer to me and, well, Naruto. This is where he kind of lays down on all four of his feet and says, you know, Naruto, if we do go, I don't want to be, well, a bother, but what about the seal? This is where I chime in and says, oh, the seal, you say. You realize the seal was broken a long time ago since Naruto broke it. Or mostly I did. But you know, you can always leave Naruto's body. But I'm guessing you don't want to. Instead you want to show all those villagers that he's fucked up. This is where Kurama smiled, and even Naruto. Swear, I says, sure, let's go to the dimension and what they are doing right now. This is where Kurama goes back into Naruto by just turning into, well, not even chakra, into like a kind of, it looks like a ghost going into Naruto, like a ghost and all that. But it's just like Kurama becoming a ghost and becoming into Naruto, and yeah, kind of going into Naruto. This is where, well, we go through the dimension that I created. This is where, well, we are right now in the sky, floating up there. There's no one that's able to see me or Naruto up in the sky. Naruto, I should mention, Naruto has an eye patch on one of his eyes. Of course, he also has a black cloak. And of course, well, a black cloak. Mostly a black cloak, black cloak. His hair is black, but of course it does have highlights of yellow. But of course, not just that. His whisker marks, instead of being black, they're actually crimson red. Naruto chose the crimson red color because he likes it a lot. Of course, Kurama says, why? Because when blood flows onto it, it won't be stained that much. Naruto says, oh yeah, I mean, yeah, that is true, but I don't know. Kinda looks cool on me. But yeah. Or why not Crimson Red? Crimson Red when it only appears when Naruto adds chakra. He doesn't really have whisker marks right now. And of course, this is where, well, Naruto's eyes, well, one of his eyes are completely different from his ones in the original canon. But of course, this is where, well, Naruto has a mark behind him. A mark on the back of, well, his neck. Or near his neck, mostly his back. This mark was actually put by me. But it looks like Orochimaru looks like a pedo snake mark. But instead of me biting into it, I just put my hand to kind of activate this mark. It's a customized mark for Naruto. And, well, his infinity chakra nature. This is where, well, Naruto says, so, Sensei, what are we watching? This is where I look down and says, oh, it seems the events you being gone, a lot of people are happy. A lot of people are happy. There's someone very sad about you. Interesting. I said that very quietly in the last part. This is where Naruto says, I fucking hate a bunch of them. Fucking bastards being happy just because I'm gone. I show them who's what. This is where I say, before you go, Naruto, look down straight to near the gate. This is where, well, Naruto does look at the gate and sees, well, two ninjas. Well, two ninjas on this giant creature. And this giant creature was a Komodo dragon. Yeah, Komodo dragon. It was, well, from one of the ninjas. One ninja had a stone, well, headband, and his clothing was red, and of course having a kunai to a girl with blue hair, and of course blue eyes. And of course, the Komodo dragon was right now kind of roaring and spitting out venom at, well, Ambus and even Hiruzen. Hiruzen almost gets hit, but he managed to dodge. This is where, well, the other ninja had a, well, kind of symbol of the Cloud Village, and had his clothing being white, and had a kunai to Hinata. And this is where he's getting ready to kind of use the lightning or something on Hiashi. This is where, well, Naruto says, I see. So where I ask him a question. Would you like to help them? That's where Naruto thinks about it. He thinks about it. Instead of acting really quick and saying yes, he's always, well, he trained into actually thinking before going straight ahead. And of course, think before even fighting. This is where Naruto says, Wait. He looks at the girl with blue hair and says, Umi? This is where I smile and says, oh yeah. I guess that girl is named Umi. Umi Uchiha. This is where Naruto says, Uchiha? Wait, I have heard of that name. This is where I heard that sigh, that deep sigh of kind of stress a little bit. And I say, Naruto, do you want to help your old friend, or are you gonna let her die? So where Naruto gets kind of angry and irritated, and then says, he breathes out and in, and says, I'll help her. And so where I just says, okay, then good luck, Naruto. Naruto, he jumps off the, what's it called, cloud that we were sitting on. And of course, when he jumps off, the speed of him kind of falling down until, well, the ninjas was kind of booming like lightning hitting the ground. Of course, this is where, well, I mostly use some lightning to kind of hit the ground so people would think, oh, it's just a storm that's coming in. And of course, not Naruto that's just going from the sky really fucking fast. And of course, Naruto did put on his hood and did put on a mask. Well, a mask to kind of cover up his face. This is where Naruto, he lands down next to, well, the ninjas so fast that he kicks, well, he, like, what's it called? He kicks the Cloud Ninja in the head, right in the fucking head, like right in the head. This is where, in the side of the head, this is where the ninja was shocked, didn't see the speed, and of course he smashes into multiple, well, not ambus, mostly into multiple buildings. This is where the girl was confused, and of course she realized that she was next to her father and was confused even more. This is where he actually looks at Hinata and was confused. And this is where, well, we go into, well, a man and a woman kind of scared because of their daughter, and this is where Umi is right next to, well, her parents, confused also, and her parents are even more confused saying, wait, what? This is where Harusan says, I see Umi Uchiha and even Hinata Hyuga were safe and sound. But wait, how? This is where the person that was, well, on the Komodo dragon was confused and didn't see, well, the Cloud Ninja, but did not see his hostage. This is where, well, someone appeared right in front of him. A boy, well, showing his kind of glittery, bright blue eye. It looked like, well, when the person looked into Naruto's one eye, he sees Naruto's eye being coldless, murderous, and of course doesn't give a fuck about your life before slashing it. This is where, well, Naruto doesn't slash the man, instead upper kicks the man in the chin, sending his ass up in the air. This is where, well, Naruto says pathetic. If you couldn't even dodge that, then why even try? This is where the man is up in the air and was confused. And Harusa was confused, Hiyashi was confused, and well, Umi's father was even confused. This is where the person was like falling down until someone appeared right up in the air, kind of like kicking him back to the ground, but mostly onto the Komodo dragon. And this is where, well, Naruto says lightning barrier. This is where Naruto sends, well, he pulls out 3 kunais and throws them into like each of the side of the Komodo dragon, and a barrier appears, making the Komodo dragon and, well, the man be unable to escape. This is where the man says, "That's it, Sage Mode," because he managed to do a Sage Mode of the Komodo dragon. And this is where Naruto says, "I see, Sage Mode. So chakra of nature. Chakra of nature, meaning containing of nature, the goddess of nature, Gaia. I see." This is where Naruto, he opened his eyes by just closing his one eye, then reopening it, showing a pair of, well, Tomoe Sharingans into this eye. And of course, instead of being a bluish, well, not bluish, a reddish color, it's a bright lightning blue color. But of course, the Tomoes are actually white lightning in it. This is where they're jagged. Now, of course, this is where, well, Naruto, he also has near his eye, instead of being the white stuff around Naruto's eye and all that, the white is actually black, but has crackling white lightning in the background of that eye. That's where Naruto says, "You're pretty pathetic to think you're gonna be able to defeat me." This is where, well, the ninja says, "Why, you cocky little brat!" Rushes at Naruto, intending to just beat the shit out of Naruto and somehow get out of his barrier. This is where the Cloud Ninja was already arrested, but he was sat on the ground, while Hiruzen kind of asked him what the hell he was doing, until, well, something happened through the barrier that cracked into a million pieces. But what shocked Hiruzen was the Komodo dragon being stabbed in multiple places and then poofing away. This is where he sees the man flying up in the air. The man that tried to kidnap Umi Uchiha and lands on the ground with so many kunais. Of course, this is where, well, so many kunais stab into multiple places. This is where this man felt so much pain. But of course, he just smashed into his buddy when Naruto kicked him mid-air into, well, the Kuma Ninja. But before even letting the Kuma Ninja mostly the Stone Ninja smash into the Kuma Ninja, Naruto already noticed a man with grayish hair, with silverish kind of grayish whitish hair, glasses, and of course was about to leave. This is Kabuto. And Naruto says, not gonna happen. Naruto appeared right in front of Kabuto and back kicks Kabuto into the Kumo and even Stone Ninja. This is where Kabuto does not see Naruto's speed. And when he smashes into those 3 ninjas, or mostly 3 ninjas, because one Anbu kind of smashed into them because Kabuto smashed into that Anbu. And of course, this is where, well, when they did kind of smash into each other, they were all shocked. This is where, well, Naruto was kind of now on the ground, kind of just looking straight ahead. But of course, no one could see his eyes. They were pitch black. No one can even see a glimpse of his eyes. Instead, Naruto sees the 4 ninjas all knocked out. The Anbu was actually a spy when his mask broke. It was not a part of Konoha, so yeah. Of course, there is, well, the Yamanaka clan in Inuichi, who's there, was actually, when they managed to capture the stone, and even the, what's it called, not Konoha, what's it called, Cloud Ninja, they were gonna terrorize him, but of course, that never happened because they're right now knocked the fuck out, and, basically, Inuichi is kind of confused. Of course, this is where, Shikamaru's father is confused, Shikaku. And even Choji's father's even confused because they were there to do the Shika Choi trio. This is where, well, Naruto walked forward by stepping one of his feet forward, walking straight towards the crowd. Now, of course, everyone got intense, just tensed up, because Hiruzen felt like this person was not good news. This is where, well, Naruto, he started walking forward, and of course, this is where multiple Ambus appeared right in front of him when he was getting close to Umi. This is where Umi's father was confused, but of course, before Umi's father was about to do anything, all the Ambus got, well, their heads kind of kicked to the side with just one kick that Naruto did. It was so fast that no one can even see it, except for Hiruzen. He was shocked in that speed. Who was this person? Who was this boy? Who was this man exactly? Naruto, he just walked through Umi's father's like kind of defense. And of course, this is where Naruto grabs Umi from the arm, and Umi says, "Ow, my arm!" He kind of just like pull it really hard, but yeah. This is where what's it called? Umi's father was about to turn around and attack Naruto for putting it on Umi's arm, until Naruto found where, well, Umi was kind of like scratched a little bit, or kind of like cut a little bit. This is where Naruto kind of transformed his hand into lightning. It's a lightning chakra, but then it just transformed into pure green. So where Naruto started healing Umi's arm. This is where Umi's father was confused, and of course, this is where Naruto pulls out poison from it. It transformed into a Senbon, and Naruto did see a civilian kind of walking through, and Naruto just threw it so fast, hitting the civilian in the head, killing him in an instant. Hiruzen was horrified, shocked, and confused, exactly. Naruto appeared right next to Hinata, and Hinata was scared until Naruto reassured her that she can heal her. This is where, when Hinata turned around, seeing Umi's arm was perfectly healed. This is where Naruto grabs, well, a Senbon made out of poison from Hinata, but when Naruto was about to throw it, an Anbu appeared, trying to intend to cut him in half. This is where Naruto decides to dodge the the Anbu and kick him right in the head, throwing the Senbon faster than anyone can see and hitting, well, a couple of civilians in the head, piercing through them and easily killing them. When the last one got hit by the Senbon, he survived, but when the poison injected inside his body, he died immediately. This is where, well, Umi and, well, Hinata are confused. Why does this man help them? Why, instead of helping them, he would just throw the Senbon away and just like crush it in his feet? But instead of that, he killed a couple of civilians, which some people throw up for the reason they don't have a stomach to do things like that. This is where, well, Hiruzen was shocked. But this is where Naruto started walking forward towards Naruto, towards Hiruzen. Hiruzen got on guard, summoned Emma just in case. Well, he already had Emma just in case he had it to fight against the other ninjas. This is where Naruto, when he was getting close, most of them almost tried to, well, get in front of Naruto, but they all got slapped. This is where Naruto pulls out a blade so fast that he blocked a slash. Or not even blocked a slash. He sent a slash to Hiruzen, intending to cut him in half. This is where what's it called? Not a slash. This is where Hiruzen managed to dodge, substitute, and appear right behind Naruto, and saying, "Give up, mysterious person." Naruto smiles and says, "Oh, really?" This is where Naruto's body dissipates, with lightning and darkness just dissipating it. This is where, well, Hiruzen was shocked until multiple spikes of darkness appear all around him. This is where Naruto says, "You would have died in an instant if that was a real battle." Oz GG. Oz meant GG, he mostly said, in such a dark tone. This is where Hiruzen says, "Old man GG?" The only person that called him GG was, well, his grandson, but at the same time, Naruto Uzumaki. His grandson wasn't here, so the one option was Naruto. He said, Naruto? But this is where I'm going to leave it off for part 2 of that, not part 2, part 1 of what if Naruto was trained by me. So yeah, I want to redo it, but yeah. Other than that, I leave it off on a cliffhanger, and yeah, because right now I'm getting tired, really tired. My whole body was hurting today. Well, in the night, so of course, yeah, I want to go to sleep. So yeah, have a nice potato day, potato night, potato day, potato, and yeah, bye.